Hello, how is everybody today on this Thursday? It's a beautiful day, isn't it? I can't wait. I think I'm going to, I might even go outside and work after lunch or as soon as I'm done. Maybe I'll go sit outside and eat some lunch. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, and I haven't seen that in what seems like forever. So I'm really excited about today, even though I'm still home, social distancing along with everyone else. I hope you are too, and not getting out unless you absolutely have to. So yesterday, if you joined me yesterday, I did some coloring on vellum, showed two different ways to color on vellum with tri-blend markers and also using re-inkers. So that made me remember some other things that I like to do on vellum, and that is using heat embossing on vellum, and that can be a little tricky sometimes. So I just wanted to share how I do that, and I'm going to make a birthday card. Hey Lisa, thank you for joining me. So I used this stamp set. I think it was last week I used this stamp set, and I thought it'd be a good idea to use it again because I really do like it. I like the happy, and I like the banners. I like the birthday scripts. I thought this would be a good one to do. So to heat emboss, of course, you need Versamark ink, some embossing powder, and I'm going to use silver embossing powder today, and a craft heater. And if you've never embossed before, you do need a craft heater. A blow dryer does not work. Craft heaters get really, really hot. They get so hot that if you have your fingers in the way, it will burn your fingers. So you do need a craft heater. Other tools I recommend is an embossing buddy. This is just a little pouch. I think it has like cornstarch type powder in it, and this is anti-static. So there's a lot of things that I use this embossing buddy for besides embossing. Another thing it's good for, if you like to use stickers that come in your kit or any kind of stickers and you like to pop them up with foam, I usually will stick my foam on the back of the stickers, and before I remove the backing, I will rub this on it, and it takes away the sticky. If you don't do that, once you get your artwork in your album, or maybe you stick an envelope and a card, if you've got a sticker on there, it's gonna get mashed and the sticky part will stick to your card or your page, and then you'll have a wave. So it's good to take away the stickiness, and I use this. You can also use baby powder, but since I started using this, I use this more because baby powder gets everywhere, and that doesn't. The other thing I use this for is when I am making shaker cards, and the window, it has the little clear plastic that you put on the top. When you go to put it on there, the sequins just wants to jump up at it. So if you rub that on there, and that will help stop those jumping sequins. And if I'm just going to get a little bit of sequins out of the pack to put on something, I will rub my hands on this, and then I don't end up with sequins all over my hands. So this little anti-static pouch, it's good for a lot of things. So we're going to use that. So let's get started. I am, just to kind of save on time, I have already done the banner. I did this last night. So I silver embossed the birthday banner, and then I flipped it over and colored the back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set all everything aside. I am going to silver emboss the word happy, and I'm going to do something a little different. Let's set this out of the way. I don't need the black. We'll need the black ink. what I want to do is I'm going to silver emboss happy at the top up here, but I want to stamp the word birthday onto the card itself. You can see I've used that with some intense black ink. I'm just going to use black today though. Right there, let's see, it's about that line, and I'm actually going to stamp birthday onto my white piece of cardstock right here. So this is how I'm going to determine placement, like this. Okay. And let's ink this birthday up. So word birthday. Make sure there is no ink on my block. I'm real good at doing that. There we go. So I've done that. I'm going to set that aside, and we are going to get into the business of embossing. I'm going to clean off my birthday word here with my stamp chamois. If I am working all day long or crafting, you know, for a long period of time, I found a little jar. This is like a little jelly jar. And I just keep my chamois stuffed down in the jar because I'm really bad. If you just throw it aside, then, you know, me, I throw other things aside, and then before I know it, I've laid a piece of cardstock or something I'm working on top of the stamp chamois, which is wet, ruins my project. So keep it in a little jar, and it's kind of contained. Okay, so now we are ready for embossing. And I want to stamp that about right there. Now, and I'm using my little sponge that came in my stamp set. And this is the Versamark ink. I want to make sure it's good and covered. And before I stamp it on here, I'm going to use my embossing buddy just across the area where I'm going to stamp that. And what this does when you do that, it keeps your embossing powder from sticking to places on your area that you don't want. So I'm going to make sure that I don't have any ink on my stamp. And okay, I can see that. I don't know if you can see that, but let's see. I'll kind of hold that up and let's see if that focuses in. You can kind of see this shiny a little bit. I'm going to put my sponge aside, and I've got this piece of scrap paper here. This is what I'm going to use to pour my embossing powder on. I'm just gonna dump this on here generously, and then let it slide off. Give it a couple of taps, and see there's only embossing powder with a Versamark ink. So let me pour this back in here, and I'll show you how we will heat this, because this is a little bit different than other heat embossing on cardstock. There we go. Okay, put the lid on. I'm gonna stand up, and I hope this is not too loud, but I'm gonna turn my craft heater on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over to the back side, and you're going to heat it from the back. And I can already tell, I can tell from the back that it's melting. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to hold it close. It doesn't take but a second. Now I'm going to turn it over and look at it closely, make sure everything melted. It looks like it has. I'm going to go one more time. If you are embossing, a lot of people have a hard time knowing when it's done. My key to heat embossing is hold the craft heater at an angle, kind of at an angle, and kind of move it up and down. I don't ever hold it straight on like that. I just kind of at an angle and move slowly, and it will work. And to be able to tell if everything melted when you turn it over, if it's not all shiny, I mean, the whole thing should be shiny. If you see places where it doesn't look shiny, it's not melted. So you'll need to go back over it. So I've got Happy done. And I am ready. I'm going to color this one. The paper, I forgot to mention, the paper I'm using for my card is from the Mix-In paper pack, which I love. So I'm going to use these two pieces. This will be my background, and that's the little piece behind the banner that I use. So this is the other side of those papers, and I'm using those. So because this is my background, I'm going to color, and I'm going to flip this over, and actually, so I can see it, I'm going to put it onto this piece of white cardstock so it shows up better for you. I'm going to use the darker color of Ice Blue Blend of my Tri-Blend marker. And I'm just coloring the back side of this. Very easy. I'm just going to use the one color here to make it easy. And I'm only coloring the letter. I'm not coloring the shadow part of the letter, unless I go out of lines. So, just put that out a little bit. I'm going to give that a second to dry. And while that's drying, I am going to stamp a cupcake and a present. And I'm going to actually stamp that right onto the card with black ink. There went my adhesive. Okay. So a cupcake and a present. Let's see. And I'm doing this in black ink, so I'm going to pull this back over. Need my sponge. So my banner is going to go right across there. And my present. I don't know why I wiped that off before I stamped it. Okay. Let's see, who else has joined me? Hi, Jody and Jonna and Laura. Hope y'all are having a great day. Mine's gonna be even better when I go outside. Okay, so I'm going to color the present. Move this. I'm done with the ink. Let's put that aside. And I'm going to color, let's see, I'm going to do a cupcake. I've still got the ice blue marker. And I'm going to make the icing blue, the lightest color of blue. I'm leaving the stars and the sprinkles white. And I'm going to take the darker end, and I'm just going to go over the line like that, just to give it a little shading. And let's see, going to make the cupcake wrapper. What's this color? This is Coral Blend. This is the darker end of Coral Blend. And I'm going to use the same color on the present. This is the lighter. This is the lighter end of Coral Blend here. And actually, I think I want that to be darker. Not dark enough. I'm gonna go with this one. I love it. You can change your mind and just color right over. There we go. I like that better. And I'm going to do the inside of the bow with this. This is Orange Blend. So this is the darker of the Orange Blend. Let's do some. And I think I'll color the present blue. Now these are not exact matches of the paper that I'm using, but you will see it doesn't really matter because I'm going to put the piece of vellum right on top of it, so it mutes the color just a little bit. There you go. Okay, I think we're ready to put the card together. Hi Pat and Terry, thank you for joining me today. All right, we're going to put the base on. There you go. And this piece will go on next. This goes right in the center there. I have somebody to send a birthday card to, so this is just in time. I'm hoping I can make the mailbox. When I finish, I'm gonna go put this in the mail really quick. So this is the piece that I embossed, and see, it goes right on top like that. And I think I'm gonna have this banner on here to go across like this. So I'm looking for strategic places to put the adhesive. I'm gonna cut the end of this one here. So quiet, it's just me. I'm gonna put a couple of glue dots. Let me see where the present is, because there's so much going on the presents, you won't be able to see the glue dots. One more. There. So the presents show up a little bit more after I put a background behind it. So let me kind of place this here to figure out where I'm going to put actually two, let's see. I want to use some silver thread before I attach that. This is the silver embellishing thread. This also comes in gold. And I like to wrap it around my fingers about 3-4 times. That's 3 times there. And then I will get a glue dot. I'm just folding it in half, and I'm going to get a glue dot because I just want this just to kind of stick out. So I want the glue dot will hold it together. This, in my opinion, is not meant to be tied. It is so thin, you drive yourself crazy trying to tie it. So let's see. Where can it look most like a party? I don't think I like that there. Do y'all? I don't. Just kind of playing around. I don't like that. What do y'all think? I don't like it. I'm not going to do that. I think I'll just add bling. So I'm going to be putting this piece right here. So I'm going to pull that up. Make this straight. So this under here. Okay, I need my lines. I'm going to put my adhesive right here. This is what will stick to the card. And then I'm also going to put some glue dots up here. I'll use these little ones because they won't show. It's just enough to hold it down. This H. Okay. So I have some silver, let's see. Some little bling. Don't know what I do with my silver ones. Because I think I would rather have silver here. Let's see what I got in my pack. Nope. But we do need bling. So I'm going to add some. These are just clear sparkles. Y'all know me, my dilemma of where to place the bling. Can always move that around. So there we go. That was heat embossing on vellum. I hope y'all like my card. Let's see if my banner still doesn't look straight. I guess it is. Okay. So there we go. I hope you like it. I'm going to stick this in the mail today to a friend of mine that has a birthday coming up soon. So that completes what? Week 2, day 4 of our lunchtime crafting. I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, with something else to share. So y'all join me tomorrow. Everybody stay in. Don't go out unless you actually really do have to. And have a great week, everybody.